My response to President Joe Biden's State of the Union by Corey's Political Risk Analysis. Number 1. Democracy is under attack. Democracy is under attack by the Democrats. It has been under attack by the Democrats for years. The Democrats have been attacking free speech. They have been trying to lock up their political opponents. Democrats in New York State support locking New Yorkers up over a sniffle. They have been supporting authoritarian regimes in Germany and the Ukraine that have banned political parties that they did not like. Democracy supports giving everybody the right to a vote. A democratic political system allows you to vote for whoever you want to vote for. A democratic political system does not support trying to get your political candidates kicked off the ballot. If you are trying to kick Trump off the ballot, then you are not democratic. The modern Democratic Party does not come off as being democratic. I do not think anybody has forgotten what the Democratic Party did to Bernie Sanders. Number 2. President Donald Trump bowed down to Putin. President Donald Trump has been the only American president that wasn't scared of Russia. After all, he deleted a lot of Russians under his administration, and he's the reason why Ukraine has javelins. Last time I checked, Obama, Hillary Clinton, and Joe Biden all supported Putin and hurt America in the process. They are also the reason why a war broke out in the Ukraine in the first place. Number 3. NATO. NATO is funded with American taxpayer money. Most of the NATO members don't pay their fair share and have no problem sacrificing American lives for their own security. NATO's expansion has forced Putin to react. Despite being ethnically German, I don't care what happens to Europe as an American voter. But I am tired of American taxpayer money being used to defend countries that can't even be bothered to defend themselves. NATO is only good for starting conflicts and creating slavery in North Africa. January 6th. Number 4. I am an independent voter. I do not care about the events of January 6th. Number 5. There is no place for political violence in America. Tell me you haven't studied American history without telling me you haven't studied American history. Political violence has always been a part of American history. Assassinations have been quite common throughout our history, and the Democratic Party is known for political violence. The Democratic Party has committed so much political violence over the past couple of centuries that this statement from Joe Biden is laughable. Number 6. Reproductive freedom. Over 90% of abortions are committed for financial and economic reasons. I personally don't care if you abort a baby or not. However, it's quite sad that baby animals have more rights than human babies. If you abort your baby for financial and economic reasons, then I don't really consider you to be human. Maybe we should start talking about fathers' rights. How come a father doesn't have a say in what happens to the baby, but is still required to pay for it? If you want the ability to abort your baby, then the father shouldn't be forced to pay for it if you decide to have it. It's only fair. Number 7. Economic crisis. The Democrats inherited an economic crisis. What is this nonsense? It was leftist policies that created this economic crisis in the first place. You cannot shut down the economy, force small businesses to close, mess with shipping, and not expect there to be repercussions. Number 8. Investing in all Americans. The Democratic Party is not investing in all Americans. They are only investing in Americans that they like. Democrats should be happy if the Americans they didn't like were wiped off the map. Or Democrats would be happy if the Americans they didn't like were wiped off the map. This includes real Republicans and men. Number 9. 15 million new jobs were created. 15 million new jobs have not been created over the past 3 years. I have been trying to figure out for the past year what the actual U.S. economy looks like, and I still haven't come to a proper conclusion. The official job openings in the U.S. is around 10 million. 1 to 2 million of these jobs are likely ghost jobs, so they don't really exist. The bulk of these jobs require skilled labor, and America doesn't have enough skilled people to fill these roles. Even the national news covered this topic. The remaining jobs are low-skilled labor jobs that you can't pay rent with, and you also have to compete with illegal immigrants for these jobs now. And the real unemployment numbers aren't even known. But if we go with the official numbers, there aren't enough jobs for the people that are getting laid off and the people that are already unemployed. The U.S. economy looks bleak. Number 10. Unemployment at 50-year lows. You are kidding me, right? Is it April 1st? There's massive unemployment and open job discrimination against white guys like me. It's pretty obvious that real unemployment is at record highs. This is not something that you can cover up, because it is transparent. Number 11. 16 million new businesses were created. I would like to know how many businesses were closed under the pandemic. I don't think this 16 million number matters that much. It might actually break even. Number 12. Job growth for Asians, Hispanics, and Africans. There was some job growth for these groups under the Trump administration, but this is not the case under the Biden administration. The Biden administration is welcoming illegals into the country. Illegals tend to compete for the same jobs that African and Hispanic Americans compete over. Asians compete with white people for the same jobs, so they could see some growth. But there is no way that there will be any real job growth for Hispanic and African Americans under this administration, not when you are letting in millions of illegals. When you support one group, then you end up hurting the other group. So you have to decide who you are supporting. Number 13. Manufacturing. The Democrats destroyed manufacturing in America with NAFTA. It took Donald Trump to get some of the manufacturing back, but this sector of the economy is still looking rather bleak. It has been looking this way for years. Number 14. Inflation. Inflation is not coming down, and it's incredibly high right now. I could buy a family bag of Doritos under the Trump administration for $3. Now that same bag costs $7 near me. I used to be able to get a small bag for $1. Now a small bag costs me almost $3 at my local Walmart. Almost everything under Biden's administration and Biden's economy has doubled in price for the average American, all thanks to leftist policies. And this isn't something that is exclusive to the U.S. Leftist policies across the globe do the same exact thing. Number 15. Health insurance. Health insurance is not affordable for most Americans. Number 16. Consumer confidence is soaring. Consumer confidence is not soaring. Millions of Americans are getting laid off from their jobs. Millions of Americans have given up on looking for a job. Millions of Americans cannot afford rent, food, and gas prices, let alone student loans, credit card payments, and car payments. There's no confidence in this economy unless you work for the government or are super rich. Number 17. Clean water. The Democratic Party does not care about clean water. Obama turned this issue into a joke. Why do you guys even bother bringing this topic up? Nobody is going to take you seriously. Number 18. Unions. Unions are a waste of money. You give them your money on a monthly basis and then get nothing in return. I don't know what the point is of supporting a union. Number 19. The State of the Union is getting stronger. The State of the Union is actually getting weaker. You better hope that there isn't a serious economic crisis, because the blue states will feel it more than the red states, especially with all of the diversity that you are importing into the country. There are a lot of ethnic groups living close to each other that do not get along. If there is a serious economic downturn, then you will see a drastic crime increase among these ethnic groups. I grew up in Syracuse, New York, and it was bad back then. You Democrats are not prepared for the consequences of your policies. Number 20. Corporations. I don't know what to say about this topic. Democrats control most U.S. corporations, and you want me to believe that you are against them. I'm not that dumb. Number 21. Prescriptions. Democrats are in bed with Big Pharma. They control Big Pharma. You could bring down the cost of prescriptions if you wanted to do that. You've always had this option. So why don't you? Just bring down the cost of prescriptions for everybody. They shouldn't be part of a campaign speech. Number 22. Housing. Leftist policies and price controls destroyed the housing market, along with the Democrat-backed corporations buying up housing units. The housing market is in a mess because you guys made it that way. You should probably take some responsibility and do something to fix it. Number 23. Education. American education is trash. I don't know how you fix it. We are going to have an entire generation of people that can't read or do basic math. If you thought the economy was bad now, it's just going to get worse. And since the Democrats control education in America, this is something you guys royally messed up. Number 24. Taxes. Did you guys forget that you forced the IRS to tax Americans at $600? You are the political party of tax increases and destroying the average American. Let's talk about something that hasn't been addressed yet. What happens if you move $600 worth of your student loans from one bank account to another bank account? Will you have to pay taxes on those student loans that you already have to pay interest on? This isn't really a good look for the Democrats. Number 25. Credit card companies. The Democrats control the credit card companies. You could just lower the rates. Why make this into an issue? Just do it. You guys control them. Number 26. Illegal immigration. Your support of illegal immigration hurts Hispanic Americans, African Americans, taxpayers, women, and legal immigrants. Do you guys not realize this? If you were a real American, then you wouldn't be hurting your own people. And to make matters worse, you are importing people that grew up in problematic environments and have problematic beliefs. Every American that gets deleted by an illegal, every woman that gets SA by an illegal, this is all in your hands. You should be aware of this. Number 27. Crime rates. Crime rates are at an all-time high. The crime rates are through the roof across the country, and they will only get worse as time goes by. Leftist policies support high crime rates. It's sad. Number 28. The Gaza Pier. I don't care about the Gaza Pier, but let's just be honest about it. This pier is going to be used for trafficking arms. I have no doubt in my mind that many of these arms will be used against Israel. Number 29. America is rising. America is not rising. America is declining. American education is on the decline. Our naval ships are falling apart. The constant attacks against white guys in this country is making the U.S. military weaker. Crime is on the rise. Gender relations are in the gutter. The wealth of the average American is on the decline, especially the Americans that live on credit. There's no part of America that is really rising. China isn't rising either, though. The average Chinese person cannot even find a job right now, and the Chinese government has messed with their bank accounts. This is one of the reasons why Chinese people are showing up on our border. America is not rising.